The real way that Hassan's making their jobs harder is that Hassan reminds them that they could have it better. Hassan is a reminder that the furthest left you can go is not mild criticism of Netanyahu while continuing to support like unrestricted arms funding for Israel. Hassan's a reminder that you can do good things that the Democratic Party just doesn't want to do. In the ongoing effort to make an effigy out of Hasan Piker.
Through your office, you said, and it's just one person, but it's part of a large group of, I think, people that have this point of view, that you wouldn't say go on like Hasan Piker's stream because he's said some heinous and stupid shit in the past. But to me, I would expect you'd be like chomping at the bit to say, you know what, of course I'm going to go there because I want to represent this point of view in a place that doesn't normally hear it. And I want to talk about the ways in which I think some of the things he said are offensive. The same way you might want to go confront somebody on Fox News, or you've met with, talked to Newt Gingrich and he said crazy shit in the past too. So maybe part of the way out of this is for someone like you to go to those spaces, even if there have been things that are offensive to people.
Yeah. So first of all, somehow we're having a much more deeper and personal conversation than I thought. So I'm going to be very candid with you.
Gotcha.
Got me, but in a very good way.
I always want to talk to you about deep things.
No, I appreciate that. And
I do not think America deserves 9/11 as controversial in 2026. No, I really do think that the average Democrat, if given like any context on that statement at all, would probably at the very least understand it, if not agree. It's for one, we're a long way out from 9/11, and for two, the point is correct with if listened to, the engagement with out of context sound bites. Like, okay, you can make literally anything say bad or sound bad.
That's why I appreciate you, frankly. So here's the candor. I had no idea who this person was until a few days ago. I never heard their name.
That's going around, I think, yeah.
And I still haven't heard him speak even. I haven't.
So Cory Booker said that he would not go on Hasan's show, even though he's never heard Hasan. Really? He conceded that without even, okay.
Heard anything he's done. The man sitting over there is my comms director.
It's almost as if there's a bunch of focus on one random streamer and it's not really the right way to have a big debate. Yeah.
That's my point.
The coordinated effort from the Third Way, billionaire-backed pedophile pack, and other affiliated groups. What's that other group? Searchlight, Spotlight? I forget what they're called. Those people.
So my comms director said to me, "Oh, you're getting asked this question. Would you go on the show?" And I'm like, "Well, who is this person?" And all he did, the totality of this person he gave me,
right there, that guy.
I don't want you. He's not on camera, so I don't feel like I'm implicating him. The totality of what he did to me was show me 4 or 5 of the most outrageous things.
And they're pretty outrageous.
They are. I said, okay, well, whoa.
Right.
Let's give whatever you saw officially coming out of my office. So here's a couple things, and I have this experience. I don't want to say daily. My wife experienced it.
It's insane. I feel like the Third Way people lost this war so quickly. The idea that Cory Booker can't even substantiate his reflexive disavowal that he made a couple of days ago. Like, there was clearly pressure from Third Way to get all these people on board with the Fuck Hasan Piker campaign because he kind of represents the Democrat constituency's interest in populism and anti-corporatism and anti-Israeli sentiment. And, like Cory Booker isn't even willing to stand by that position now.
Last night in the airport, as somebody was wanting to take a moment as I come off this very long flight, and to scream at me, I always tell people, give me a Mother's Day card, please, because I get called you mother often. And it's from people on wings of both parties.
It would really be a Father's Day card in that sense.
Well, but calling me a mother...
Well, you're not the mother.
Oh, you're right. I never thought about that analysis here.
Any kind of card would do, I think.
I appreciate that.
It's all been going very well. Trey Easton, he's with the Searchlight Institute, one of the more obnoxious fake Democrat centrist constituency groups. All the big tent and Hasan Piker discourse needs to conclude by 5 p.m. on the East Coast. We've all been very annoying. No one's convinced anyone of anything, and the weather's too nice to keep this up. Thank you for your attention to this matter. But they were like gunning on this for days prior. Dude, there's so much shit. I just like this big disorganized blob of the most unrepresentative PAC or deep state aligned so-called Democrats just losing their mind about Hasan. And it's not about Hasan, of course. It's not actually about Hasan. It's just about Israel. All of the people who are mad at Hasan are Zionists. There are no non-Zionists who are mad at Hasan. It's 100% them. They're just trying to use him as an effigy to try to castigate and distance Democratic politicians from the increasingly popular anti-Zionist position within their base. Look at this, man. Jesus Christ. I like this one a lot. This one was very good. From John Podhoretz. Hasan Piker would likely support Tim Miller's murder on the grounds that he is a gay man with children, and then support the murder of his children as he supports the murder of mine for being Jews. Nice going, Tim. You've sold your soul. Enjoy the cash. And this is, you might remember this tweet. Do you remember this tweet? Guy who's concerned about anti-Semitism? I remember this tweet. This one was real good.
Just at this point that the Democrat Party as an institution is quiet about Israel, neutral about Israel, you now have a growing sort of movement within the party, even within the Democrats in Congress, where they are hostile.
This is insane. I've not been on Twitter much, so I didn't see how insane it's gotten. No, it's really crazy. And it's all coming from like third way type people, totally unrepresentative of the, you'll notice that these centrist PACs, these like deep state consultant groups, they never talk with real people, ever. Ever. Like, there are so many politicians and political causes out there where support for them is built off this sentiment of like, we're listening to the common man. But those people never even try to do it because they know that if they went from door to door and asked Democrats, like, how do you feel about Israel? They know the answers they would get. They're aware of the fact that they're running against the overwhelming majority of the Democrat constituency. They know exactly what they're doing. You know, they don't believe in democracy.
To Israel, and you even have some members that are supportive of the terrorists of Hamas. How do you make any sense of this?
Yeah, no, I mean it's crazy. I mean, my God, you have many of my parties. They're proud to do events with like that Hasan Piker. Now, this is the individual that just recently said that America deserved 9/11. And that they said that Hamas is
Recently?
1,000% better than Israel.
True.
And he doesn't care about the rapes and cause Jews inbred and say these outlandish thing. And then like,
notice how he also doesn't know anything about Hassan and doesn't know the quotes either. They're all just running off lists given to them by Mossad, man.
people like the New York Times give these glowing kinds of profile. They don't mention any of that. I mean, he's become such a raging anti-Semite. You know,
Semite.
Even the guy that has a Nazi tattoo bailed on doing an event with him. I mean, now Democrats have to decide.
Oh, that was the PV event.
Whose side are you in? Are you proud to stand with that kinds of an individual, or stand with Israel? And then
Israel. Fucking brain damage, man. That Tim Miller bit was in response to this interview between on the Bulwark, Tim Miller and Sarah Longwell, who was a Republican up until 5 minutes ago.
Should he be in the tent or out of the tent is a question of like, okay, who is this guy? What does he believe? What does he talk about on what is a relatively popular streaming site? And I'll just give you a flavor of some of the things that pop up from Hassan's critics that I have seen and that I think are quite terrible. So America deserved 9/11, dude. On China, he says, we hyper-focus on the social repression or the civil liberties, or not even civil liberties necessarily, but free speech and things like that. But in terms of good governance, there's a lot we can learn from the way they perform out there. At least they get results. And he has a lot of...
What an insanely unobjectionable statement. This woman is a neoconservative and was one of the big, like, never Trump Republicans, you know? Her job is to make sure that America remains subservient to Israel, whether or not a Democrat or a Republican is in power. So Trump has gone off, you know, the deep end. He's haywire, whatever. She wants to bring things back to the sensible neoconservatism of, I don't know, Bush or Reagan or whatever.
Very pro-China takes. There's one that he says was a little bit taken out of context, but he says, doesn't matter if the fucking rapes happened on October 7th. That doesn't change the dynamic for me.
And it's always just the same quotes. It's always the same. There's no substantial engagement with the ideology underlining this. I've never seen any one of these detractors talk about like why Hasan might say America deserved 9/11. You know, like they don't engage with the underlying ideology of the point. It's just quote farming.
This much. So that's the other part of this problem that many people can't contend with. Like the Palestinian resistance is not perfect. They're not like so good. They have magical bullets. I don't know what that means. He says Hamas is 1,000 times better than...
She's literally just reading off a list she's never read before. Why would she just read out a quote she doesn't know the context for and then go, oh, I don't know that one. She's reading from this list for the first time. I'm outraged by this list that I'm just now reading through.
Israel. On Hezbollah, he said, overall, what's my favorite flag? Hezbollah. Look it up. I'm not even kidding. It's actually a dope flag. It's got an AK on it and a fucking hand holding it up. On Dan Crenshaw losing an eye in Afghanistan. What the fuck is wrong with this?
She knows so little about the world, she can't even explain why it's problematic to say that Hezbollah's flag is dope. You can literally see her reading the list. Yeah, no, I know. It's just like, it's crazy how manufactured this discourse is, you know? The Democratic consultancy class, like, desperately raging against the overwhelming and unavoidable, really, reality that their voter base is not pro-Israel and is not going to be pro-Israel again, you know?
Dude, I also dislike Dan Crenshaw, but I would not say this. Didn't he go to war and like literally lose his eye because of some mujahideen, a brave fucking soldier, fucked his eye hole with their dick? On Israel being full of inbreds, you are left.
Miller can't even take it serious. It's like so, it's like a joke.
The country that is packed to the fucking gills with the most inbred, uneducated, ultra-nationalist, rabid, Haredi population. On Russia's annexation of Crimea. Annexation of Crimea was...
Why are they all reading off the same script? Because Third Way gave them all the same talking points, and Third Way is pushed by Zionist billionaires. You know, it's all Mossad shit. It's all Hasbara. It's the same stuff.
Absolutely a justifiable annexation. What do you call Crimea? I call it part of Russian territory, bitch. I call it Crimea River.
Like, wouldn't it make more sense to go through these talking points one by one and talk about why they're bad or what they represent, I guess? Like, let me put it this way. If I wanted to talk about how Nick Fuentes shouldn't be allowed, like, let's say it's 2 years from now and we're having a conversation about whether or not Nick Fuentes belongs in like a Big Tent anti-Israel populist political group, and I was arguing against that. Wouldn't it make more sense for me to argue about his ideology and the stuff that he believes and like how we got to this point rather than just listing out a bunch of quotes, you know? Like, wouldn't that be a very flimsy and insubstantial way of criticizing him? If I was just like, he said these things, 6 million cookies in the oven, like it wouldn't really mean anything.
Russian River. The annexation of Crimea was absolutely a justifiable annexation. On black people. Black people care about the border. I don't give a fuck what black people care about. Black people care about this. Black people care about that. Like, shut the fuck up. That's not how politics work. And then, I don't know if this is I don't know how to, I'm not going to rank these, but this one's a real doozy. Date rape is better if it happens to rich women. If you have these fucking millionaire, billionaire WASP fail sons, at least taking them out of other...
I don't know the context for that one.
...colleges so they can only do date rape to other billionaire, millionaire failed daughters is in some respects, you know, from a utilitarian perspective, of course, a little bit better. Okay, Piker told off a listener who condemned the massacre on October 7th, a
Is she ever going to stop? Is the whole clip just her reading off the list for the first time?
Bloodthirsty, violent pig dog suck my dick. Okay, so that's the guy. That's the guy. I do not think any Democrat should look to include him in their coalition. And here's the thing. You mentioned my book at the top. I just wrote a whole book that is going to come out in September.
That's just all these people are, man. These consultants sucking their own dicks. They don't pay attention to the world. They don't pay attention to politics. They write their books. They all get New York Times bestselling because it's really easy to get to the top of the list if you're even remotely connected. It's always the book. They're all the same guy. Their whole life they've spent working for consultants. Look at her career. Okay, look at her career. Neoconservative political consultant, publisher of the conservative news and opinion website The Bulwark, former member of the Republican Party. She founded the Republican Accountability Project during the 2020 and 2024 presidential elections. Right. A graduate from Kenyon College in 2002. She worked for the Intercollegiate Studies Institute, a conservative group in Delaware. In 2005, she moved to D.C., where she found a job with Richard Berman, a Republican lobbyist and later PR expert who runs several industry-funded nonprofit lobbying and PR organizations. Worked at Berman and Company and became senior VP and comms director, leading media campaigns on a wide range of public policy issues. Their whole lives are just running in the D.C. swamp. These people are the swamp. Managing director of the American Beverage Institute, a trade association set up by Berman that lobbies on behalf of the alcohol industry, such as arguing the risks of drunk driving have been exaggerated and laws that have been adopted to reduce it are ineffective or inappropriate, and oppose the lowering of the blood alcohol concentration limit for driving under the influence in Utah. These people are like cartoon characters, man. Jesus Christ. It's like a joke, like you wouldn't believe it. Like, oh, that centrist consultant arguing against Hasan. She's a lifelong Republican who's argued against drunk driving laws. It sounds like a joke. You would like, oh, okay, drunk driving's fun, Lamau. We're not talking about whether or not it's fun. We're talking about whether, come on. That's such an alien position to hold as freak shit. Yeah, because, and this is how it is with all of her positions, she doesn't actually hold that position. She worked on behalf of the American Beverage Institute, lobbying for the alcohol industry. Like everything else these people say, they don't actually believe it. They're just paid to defend it. It's all kayfabe for them. It's not sincere position holding. They don't internally defend the position. They're paid to say it, so they say it. They're actors. All of them are actors. And now she's doing the same thing for Israel. Probably not the first time. You're literally right, none of them believe in anything anymore. I don't understand how we reached a point in this country where it became like accepted or normal for basically everyone in political communication to be a consultant. These people are paid liars. It's literally their job to lie for a position. That is what they're paid to do. That's not implicit, it's explicit. Why the fuck? Anyway, let's finish the damn video.
300 pages. It's called How to Eat an Elephant One Voter at a Time. It is 300 pages about how you build a winning coalition. There's not a single paragraph.
Build a winning coalition from a consultant whose main career highlight is losing control of the Republican Party to Donald Trump and then fleeing to the Democrat Party to try to do the same thing to it.
That recommends cozying up to people like Hasan Piker.
Wow,
I talk a lot
your
about
book
Big
says
Tents.
so?
I talk a lot about a pro-democracy coalition.
Wow.
Here's the thing. Hasan Piker doesn't actually belong in the pro-democracy coalition. He's an illiberal guy. He's a China-Russia sympathizer who hates women, hates Israel. Like, he's all the toxic things. And I think, and I was listening to you last night, and I was like, I think my biggest problem with it, because I agree with you in some places, my biggest problem with it is I felt like you were soft selling.
Every accusation's a confession? Yeah, seriously.
It's like, what? We're picking this fight with him now? I'm just like, I could think of 1,000 other things I would rather Democrats pick fights about now. Like, why him right now?
Because he's making their life harder. It is people like Hasan
They're making their life harder.
Well, hold on. People like Hasan
I appreciate her honesty.
are making Democrats who want to take a stand against this war, right? And who want to probably take a stand against the way that Trump is just sort of like, you know, doing whatever Bibi tells him. They're trying to figure out how to do it in a way where they don't imperil the safety of Jewish people in this country. They're trying to do it in a way that is, they don't want to be anti-Semitic. And I'll tell you why.
Hasbara, servant of Israel. Hasan is making it harder for Democrats to not be anti-Semitic. What the fuck are you talking about? Literally, what the fuck are you talking about?
Why Hasan is so dangerous is that what it does is it's exactly what Trump does. It's exactly what Nick Fuentes does and Tucker does. It takes maybe legitimate rage about something, and then it gives them an enemy to put it on.
Classic white moderate stuff, by the way. You know, white guy in 1960. Oh yeah, I believe that the Negro should have peace and freedom in some point in time, but right now it is too temperate a season to be introducing that. By rushing your cause, all you do is hasten its demise. Like, with this rhetoric has been employed by these same kinds of people forever, basically. Forever. Oh, ever and ever and ever. The difference is that among within the American population in 1960, they were less willing to see the end of Jim Crow laws. They were less supportive of the Civil Rights Act than America is now opposed to Israel. The anti-Zionist position today is far more popular than the pro-Civil Rights Act position back in 1960. Martin Luther King Jr. was fighting uphill against a stronger oppositional coalition. Within the Democratic Party, Israel is like minus 40 in popularity. It's like it's 60, 20, 40, or like 20, 30 undecided, whatever. It's in that ballpark. The difference is huge. This woman would have supported the anti-Civil Rights Act protests.
Gives them an out group to blame for it. And I think you have to be so careful with that so that you're not doing that, which starts with condemning the people who hold the same position as you for reasons that are bad, for reasons that are hostile to Jews.
Here's where I disagree. Totally disagree. It starts with condemning the fucking war and condemning Israel and condemning Bibi and condemning Trump and being passionate and clear about it. Because then what happens? Then, if you have the credibility then with the voters who were anti-war voters, who were unhappy about the way that they see the bipartisan establishment. And they thought Trump was
The real way that Hasan's making their jobs harder is that Hasan reminds them that they could have it better. Hasan is a reminder that the furthest left you can go is not mild criticism of Netanyahu while continuing to support like unrestricted arms funding for Israel. Hasan's a reminder that you can do good things that the Democratic Party just doesn't want to do.
going to be their savior from this, that there was this blob in DC, and no matter which party is in charge, we all get into stupid wars. They thought Trump was their way out of this, and now they're like, Trump's doing the same shit that all the other ones did that we said we didn't want it. He's doing it worse. And so now if the Democrats go to those people and go on those shows, they should be on those shows. Democrats should be begging Joe Rogan or Theo, whoever, to have them on right now. They should be on Manosphere shows being like, I told you, this was stupid. I didn't want to do this. This war is dumb. Our relationship with Israel is too tight. We should be reevaluating it. We should not be getting dog walked into this war. By the way, MBS also sucks, right? Like, you can do that in a way that's not anti-Semitic because it's what has happened.
No, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. It's not even like an uncontroversial position within the Democratic constituency now. Among Democrats, only 17% sympathize more with Israel, 67% sympathize more with Palestinians. That's insane. That's more than I thought. That's a minus 60 sympathies. Sorry, minus 50. I can't do math. I'm gay. I suck cock. Minus 50. Minus 50 on sympathies. It's an unbelievable swing. But if you talk to Democrat politicians, Democrat consultants, they all act like it's this crazy, it's like this insanely controversial position they don't want to touch on. You know what I mean? If you look at Democrats who are aged like 18 to 45, the split is even more stark. Ages 18 to 34, Democrat and Republican. This is not just Democrats. Ages 18 to 34, Israel is also minus 50 in positivity. Minus 50 in positivity, not even just for Democrats. This is like a not even, it is going to end up being a 90-10 issue in the Democratic Party. Like, support for Israel will start to become as uncommon as support for anti-miscegenation laws. That sounds like a joke, but we're actually getting there. Like, not even a joke. I would be willing to bet right now that support for Israel within 18 to 35 Democrats is about as common as support for anti-miscegenation laws in America broadly. So for a Democrat who's trying to appeal to Democrat voters to go about supporting Israel is about as sensible as you trying to get elected by supporting anti-miscegenation laws. I'm overstating the percentages, but only by a little bit. That's how marginal pro-Israeli sentiment is within Democrats, especially young Democrats.
Identifying liberals don't have this opinion. This is a unique opinion. Most self-identifying liberals, as Tim is trying to point out to her, have completely dropped Israel. Like, they have a very, very
What's anti-miscegenation? Miscegenation is an old-fangled word for race mixing.
Antagonistic opinion of Israel. You know what I mean? So her anger, her resentment in this moment is actually stemming from the fact that, like, it's not just that liberalism is failing. It certainly is. But also, she's worried that she might not have space in the party. Okay?
She doesn't.
I think that's what it is. She's worried that a party that has me in the tent is going to not cater to her.
The funny thing is, Sarah Longwell, the woman who we just saw, who argued against drunk driving laws in the past, did the same thing Cory Booker did, where she admitted she doesn't care about anything or has any real positions and is just following the money. Look, the dumbest thing about all this is that I didn't and don't care about Piker. Really? You went on a podcast with Tim Dillon on The Bulwark. You argued passionately that the tent has no room for him, but you don't care? Well, I know you don't. I know you don't, because you don't believe in anything. None of these people believe in a single fucking thing. They have no beliefs. I'm sorry, Tim Miller, not Tim Dillon. Two different people. Tim Miller, thank you. Piker never comes up in focus groups with voters as someone they're following the way Rogan or Tucker or Candace does. I don't think he's singularly making an impact in politics in any way commensurate with the attention he's getting. She's just admitting, like, it's all just a job to her. The actual positions people have, the democracy itself, she does not care. Insane. It's just so, it's frustrating to me that, like, the Democratic Party is being led by people but who have openly acknowledged that they don't care about democracy. Like, the third way people do not care. Guys, the third way group, the third way billionaire pedophile pack literally said that they would rather Republicans win than a Hasan Piker aligned Democrat Party win. They literally said that. They're looking at what's happening to the country right now at getting raped to death by the Republicans, people to whom law does not matter at all. And they said, yeah, we'd rather have more than that than this guy who's anti-Israel. That's how much they hate America. They despise America. They are worse than Republicans. At least Republicans have a consistent, coherent ideology. It's consistently inconsistent. You know the kind of evil they're going to run in, right? But the third way groups, they're just as evil as the Republicans, but they fucking lie to you. Not in predictable ways like the Republicans, but in like weird, like deep state, psyop, controlled opposition ways. I can't stand that shit. I hate it more than anything else. I hate it more than anything else in life. I hate them so goddamn much. Yeah, I would prefer a wolf to a wolf in sheep's clothing. Absolutely, 100%. At least Republicans admit what they are, or at least you can identify it pretty easily. Trey Easton is a former Fetterman staffer who a few months ago said Dems should not be held by the nose by organizations. They don't believe in anything. Gave a speech at Third Way's conference less than a month ago. Yeah. Isn't this the same guy who said that he was done with purity tests and then less than a month later said that any politician who was willing to even meet with Hasan Piker shouldn't be considered because he doesn't want Abdul Al-Sayed to win in Minnesota? I hate these people so much. I hate them. I hate them so fucking much. And it's crazy because you can Google any one of them and all of the Wikipedia pages say the same thing. This guy's been evil his whole life. Michigan, sorry, not Minnesota, Michigan. Thank you. This guy's been evil his entire life. He doesn't believe in anything. He gets paid to hold positions and then he does. His whole life, ruin has followed him. He does nothing but lose elections, push unpopular opinions because no one else will. That's it. That's all he is. And they're all the same and we still have to take them seriously, you know? In a fair world, in a world where people's characters are graded and appreciated by their virtues, Hasan would be infinitely less controversial than anyone who has ever worked with Third Way. And I don't even like him that much, man! But if he's the litmus test they're using, then I hope it blows up in their face. And so far it is. You think they deliberately chose Hasan as their target? They just wanted somebody who represented like populist anti-Zionism. It could have been anyone.